So I have a little confession. My guilty pleasure is a subscription to Wedding Flowers magazine, the only magazine dedicated to wedding flowers. The closest thing I can liken it to is flower porn for flowers, because I mean, quite frankly, who could say no to that? Or indeed that Gloriosa, amazing flower. And my life would simply not be worth living if I didn't have this magazine in my life somewhere. And that sort of leads me on to the story of Frank. Now, Frank is a man I've never met, never seen him, know nothing about. But Frank ended up being the highlight of a night out with a floral link, because my mum and I went along to the Kendal Flower Club's Christmas floral extravaganza quite some time ago. And to be honest, my hopes weren't that high. Yes, there was the flower connection, but when we rocked up, there were about, well, let's just say a large group of women who I was about 30 to 40 years their junior. And the only time there was much movement was when the free mince pie and cherries were put out that you got with your ticket. But anyway, open mind, and there was a lovely gentleman florist on, I can't recall his name, but when he first came on the stage, he explained that because the usual woman who we had to help with his lighting and music, etc., because she was away, she was ill, her husband Frank had gallantly stepped in and he would be looking after that side of things. So that was fine. You know, he would sort of give direction to Frank, so he'd say, music please Frank, and the Christmas music would come on. Enough of the music, thanks Frank, and the music would go off. Lights up please Frank, the lights would come up. Dim the lights please Frank, and we'd have a little bit of a dim lighting time. And you know, the florist himself was very funny, and I have to say at one point I was thinking, you know what, this is a really great night out, and I don't get out much. But no, it was you know, going really well, and it was sort of all building up to the sort of the thing that we'd all been there for, quite frankly, the massive 3 floral arrangements he'd done as the extravaganza bit of the floral extravaganza night. He quite cleverly got Frank to sort of, you know, switch lights on and off, so we couldn't really see what was going on. Curtains would move sort of across and back again. After he'd sort of been tinkering, we had a bit of Christmas music again. He said, "Music, thanks, Frank," and he came forward and he said, "Right, well, you know, this is it for tonight. I hope you really love what I've done. And now I'd like to reveal to you my work. So curtains please Frank." And the curtains swished closed, and a voice from behind the curtains just said, "Wrong way Frank."